Hello, hello. Happy Mars Day. Happy Tuesday. Um hmm what a let's just say crazy week or so. Oh, hello, Zed Chrome. Nice to see you. Happy Mars Day. I hope you're having a great start to the week. And if you're in the United States, that you had maybe a longer weekend. I know I definitely needed it myself. Um, yeah, let's just say last week was a pretty hard one for me and maybe for other people. We had, a full moon in Leo, which we'll talk about. Oh, you did? Yes. I know my Canadian coworkers also had a long weekend, so that's very nice. I hope you had time to relax or do something that you don't normally get to do when our weekends are so cut short. Um, yeah, I didn't get a chance to actually stream last week. It was a little crazy. And so we'll be talking about the full moon in Leo from last week, the spread that I did. I actually still have it out. And also, just coming into Pisces season, we also have a new moon in Pisces next week. So that could be bringing some emotional goodness for us and dreaminess, actually. Pisces season tends to do that for us. And so, yeah, let's get started here. Kind of want to just, oh, you are Pisces, so your birthday's coming up soon. Oh. Reese's Pieces. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. So that is within Pisces season. Cool. Well, maybe we can do a special spread for you when your birthday comes up, or closer to your birthday if you're open to it. Okay. So let's just quickly do a moment of grounding and then we'll get into it. And yeah, let's see. All right, nice. Yeah, Pisces season. I don't think it's upon us yet. I think we have maybe a couple of days, but I believe it's starting very, very soon. And, Pisces is also dead chrome. I don't know if you're familiar with your sign, but Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is very dreamy. Pisces tend to be very creative, can really, let's just say, because they're also the end of the zodiac chart chronologically, tend to be really tapped in intuitively into like the underworld or maybe spirituality, similar to their water, I guess, counterparts like Scorpio. But I think Pisces, might not have the same doom and gloom as Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, so I'd be very familiar with that. Um, but yeah, I wanted to just quickly share. I don't know if anyone was feeling this last week, just like a reflection around the full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. I mean, Leo is very, let's just say, when you think of Leo, you think of someone who's really out there, very outgoing, has a lot of grandiosity, walks into a room and you're like, that person is totally a Leo. um, just has this very specific attitude, like queen bee type attitude. But being the full moon, being in Leo, kind of, full moons kind of bring out a lot of like letting go, and kind of reflects to us things to reflect on, let's just say. And I really found that one of the biggest messages last week that I came across from the Leo, or that came to me in the Leo, the full moon in Leo, was around how your grandiosity really comes from leading with your heart. So, not doing something that your heart really is really set on, kind of may divert you in a different path, and you'll feel it eventually. I definitely felt it a lot last week, and which will bring me to this spread. Let's see, hopefully my camera is okay. Cool. Yeah, so just like sharing, a piece of what was going on for me. I have been kind of all over the place starting this new year. It's crazy to think it's middle of February, and then by the end of next week, it's already the end of February. It's a very short month. And, I wanted to start off this year really grounded, and, but it was kind of the opposite. I kind of feel like I overbooked myself a bit. I had this like splurge and energy of like, yeah, let's get it. It's 2025. I have all these projects I want to do. I have all these things I want to do. But also I really wanted to come out of my little cocoon that I was in at the end of last year and be super social. And in doing so, I feel like I started to, let's just say, indulge just a little more than I normally do. And also being a Scorpio, I have a tendency, let's just say, for indulgences, addictions, and I can go very, very far on one side versus the other. So I felt it really hard during this full moon in Leo, and I actually was kind of sick last week, so I didn't even have a moment to really think about doing other things, aside from trying to stay afloat with work. And so I did this spread, and wow, it really blew my effing mind. Let's just say, so oops. I'll kind of quickly go over it. We don't have to go into it individually so much, but the first card is the Six of Cups. You can see in an upright position, it really, cups again is like relationships, either yourself or others. This is definitely with others. This is maybe even with family or elders. And cups also, in reverse, I think it represented a lot having to do with like childhood trauma, and things that I'm carrying with me into my adulthood. And that has been coming up a lot. I don't know if any of you guys do any type of like therapy, but it's brought up a lot in me in terms of like learning more about myself and the things that are my triggers and things that I don't want to be my triggers but end up being them, and how helpful it's been. But yes, all of these, let's just say I don't have any like big T's like big traumas, but I definitely have a lot of little traumas that have built up and come out in my relationships, come out how I see myself, come out how I act in the world. So this is really a call to reflect on that and kind of address it and continue to work on it. I think it was generally it's hard for me to work on things. I don't know if you could feel the same way. If you're constantly on the go, it's kind of almost like being in like a different world or escapism. So, um, too self-aware for therapy. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I have to say it's also hard to find the right type of therapy with the right person. Um, but I think everyone can benefit from it if they're open to it and want, and if not, maybe there are other types of therapies. Let's just say like plant medicine as a therapy can also be really helpful of just um, internal reflection and learning, learning more about yourself. So even if it's not with another person, um, but yeah, in terms of, and I guess you can't really ignore your own brain if you are um, indulging or partaking in plant medicine, because it will not let you ignore it. That is the point. Um, so the next card in this trio, and I'll also get to the number 3 in like a moment because it's been coming up a lot for me. In this trio is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, I mean, as you can see, it's also reversed, but the Nine of Wands, you can see this person is like super beat up. But 9 is close to 10, which is a completion of a cycle. But they're still standing strong. There are sprouts on these wands. So, um, there's there's things to look forward to in terms of opportunity, but maybe just a moment to understand how burnt out you could be, which I felt burnt out, and not necessarily, honestly, with, let's just say, work. I want to say burnt out from being so extroverted. I'm like one of those introvert extroverts. So when I, you know, lend myself too far on one end, I need to go into the other, and I kind of go to the extremes. So I was feeling it really, really hard. And then the last one is the Four of Swords. This is a clear resting card. So really, all in all, I think this spread really is telling me to slow down, take a moment to rest, really reflect on some of the things that have been coming up for me, instead of running to things or indulging in things that kind of throw me into escapism or ways to not deal with these different things coming my way, because it is really easy to just overbook yourself, or for me, overbook myself to hang out with friends and go do a bunch of things. But really, that time alone is time to really reflect and address things, because the universe will continue to throw this in your face until you are ready to address it. So I am definitely excited to kind of take this time to do that. I do have some nice nature stuff planned next week. I'll be going to Utah to go snowboarding. And honestly, it's so nice just to I was just thinking about this recently, of how much nature is needed to to especially if you live in the city like me. Nature is definitely needed to break away from the busy life. I mean, we're also, in this little gridlock of a lot of shit to do all the time. It feels like we're constantly on the go, especially being in New York City. So I'm really excited to just be on a mountain in snow and trees. I think it'll be a really nice break for me. Cool. So that was my spread. I kind of want to just talk about the number 3. 3 is like my life path number. And in general, I mean, it's funny. I don't know if you guys are into reading your life path and how it, what it could mean for you, the strengths and weaknesses, but it's some, obviously taking that plus your sun sign plus whatever other modality you want to kind of look into is really fascinating. But I've been pulling, the reason why I bring up the number 3 is because I've been pulling cards in threes recently, just because it feels so natural to me. I feel like I've started for a while just pulling one card, but pulling 3 kind of paints a larger picture. Obviously, the more cards you pull, which I've done like the Celtic Cross and stuff on here, kind of paint an even larger picture depending on your intention. But numbers are just so interesting. Like 3, I guess in spirituality, if you think about, I mean, I grew up Catholic, and, the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit is a really big one. But it also comes in other things like the triangle. It comes into geometry, and it comes into other patterns. So it's interesting just to be aware of these numbers. And maybe if you know your life path number, give it a shot. I mean, look it up, see if for some reason it's see if for some reason is like an ongoing thing that will come up for you, and kind of look for that. I don't know. I really believe in angel numbers, and I truly believe that they will show when they're meant to. Hello, Sugar Plums. Thank you for joining. I'm so bad with commands here. I don't know if I have my stuff properly set up yet. I am still very bare bones a noob here, but I appreciate you joining. I hope you find some of this let's just say tarot stuff interesting. So I'm gonna close this spread, but maybe, I mean, I was thinking about, the new moon in Pisces coming next week. I'll be away, so I won't actually be able to be on here to do a spread, but I figured maybe, I mean, in general, Pisces typically brings in, like I was mentioning earlier, just this like creative, dreamy energy, maybe really emotional because it is a water sign ultimately. But Pisces are like, in terms of any of the water signs, they're also like the most, I'd say, outgoing. They're really fun. They're really, they have a very different energy compared to Scorpio and to Cancer. And Dead Chrome, in terms of your question, I can do a free reading for you. I feel like you've been coming on for a bit, so maybe that'll be my treat for you. If you want to shoot me an email, I'm so bad at doing this here. I'm going to drop my email here. And just email me and maybe we can, chat. And yeah, I'd happily do one. Am I really not signed into Twitch? Okay, sorry. Give me a second. Do I have to really do this? No. Wait. I thought I was logged in, but for some reason my chat, I'm so sorry to derail this. And hopefully I actually remember my password, because if not, oh no. Maybe it's this. Nope. Okay. Alright, give me like 2 seconds here. I'm... Not to derail this whole thing, I just wanted to share my email, so... Oops. Okay, here. Shoot me an email and we can chat. I don't have so much stuff set up right now. I should just probably have it on my profile if anyone's interested in a reading. Um, anyway, so back to Pisces energy. Wow. Okay. Pisces, I mean, I think for me, I'm feeling a really big call. Like I said, this past spread is telling me to go inward and rest, and I am manifesting this, and honestly, I feel it. Like I get chills thinking about this. I've been trying to really just get into my creative projects. And I think the Pisces energy will really bring that out for me this season. So hopefully when I get back from this trip away, I can come back and feel really motivated and in the groove of doing so. But yeah, let's just let's see what Pisces season, what the Pisces new moon can really bring for us, and see what messages I can get here. But yeah, I'm very excited for this season. I think it's definitely a call to go inward and a call to really just get weird and creative. I don't know. I think Pisces are, you can get super weird and really fun and really creative. So it's a really fuck around and find out kind of vibe. So let's see what we got here. Cards today. Okay. Wow, guys, my shuffling today is out of whack. Okay. Let's try this again. By the way, does anyone on here while I do this do their own tarot readings or have a tarot deck or are interested in doing tarot readings? I don't know if everyone can hear me. Okay, I'll just move on. Let's see. So, Pisces season, what you got for us? Oh. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. King of Swords. So, King of Swords, you can see typically swords rule, I'd say, logic. You think of air signs, Aquarius, Libra. You think of logic, intelligence. And as you can see, this king is very stern. Kings typically rule, in terms of their suit is like, I don't want to say the end all be all, but they're the biggest in terms of ruling that type of characteristic. So this is reminder to logically approach a situation. But you also see the butterflies in the back behind the king. And butterflies can represent, what do you think about when you think butterfly? What do you think about when you see a butterfly? You think of like metamorphosis, change. Could also be around general life, beauty, the earth. And for this, I'd say it's really about dreams. So think about your dreams. Go into it maybe with logic. I think for me, I typically have all these ideas and I have a problem executing them because I get too excited and I have ADHD. So I have a hard time being like super, super focused to really get there. So maybe this is really a call to approach things with logic, maybe map things out. You know, I actually got a journal planner this year that is helping me map out each month a little bit better. Historically, I just like do things how I feel or what I feel like doing. But sometimes, especially when it comes to that of making progress, it's really hard to just come in and be like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And then we have the Page of Cups, in reverse. And what's cool, oh God, this is really cool. Okay. You see in this card, there's a fish coming out of the cup. I mean, fish is Pisces. And a page is someone who's like first, you know, about to start maybe a project. For this is like, oh, there's like a creative project and really excited. But maybe in reverse, it's like, I am a little stuck, which I think complements the King of Swords card, because the King of Swords card is like, oh, maybe you're stuck because you need to plan the shit out. And that's exactly what it is, at least for me. And then lastly, you have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, I'm like trying to pull my mic closer so you guys can still hear me. The Nine of Pentacles, I'm like, okay. The Nine of Pentacles is basically, I believe, you know, it's very earth sign. You can see this person is very poised, admiring this bird on their hand. They're very tapped into the earth. They're also, you know, there's a lot of abundance in this card. And I believe this card is actually related to the sign of Taurus. Because Taurus have a lot, I mean, let's just say, I really tapped into the luxuries of life. And this is recognizing what those luxuries are. In reverse, it could mean that these luxuries are actually something that are holding you back. And for me, that is very true, because I get, again, with just sharing this whole thing with ADHD, I get very sidetracked of the things I can do with the abundance that I have. Whereas, and it's really not helping me move forward with these creative projects. It's blocking me. And, you know, every now and then I'll be like, oh, I should have done that. I really want to get this done. So I think this Pisces energy is really inviting me to move away from this security, this you know, using, let's just say, this abundance for just other things, but really focusing on these creative projects, these things that are part of my dreams. You know, I like dream about this stuff. So, and logically planning for it. So, yeah, that's what I got for that, for this new Pisces energy. I hope you guys really embrace it. I mean, I love like when we're moving into a new sign, because I really feel the energy. And after Pisces is Aries, which is, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I think my favorite energy is Aries. And it's not even my season. Like Aries is, I'm a Scorpio, but we are both ruled by Mars, and Aries brings this like new life energy, this like, I'm gonna go out there and just fucking do it. I don't give a shit kind of energy. I'm just gonna go for it. But yeah, I guess in thinking about this time of Pisces, just like thinking about your dreams, thinking about what you want, and kind of manifesting that, because Aries energy will help you, will like catapult you to really taking action on it. So maybe you start those little things now, if you're like me and you really want to get, you know, this type of stuff, this type of work started, like creative projects. But yeah, I hope you have a great start to Pisces season. I'll be back in a couple weeks. And Dead Chrome, yes, email me, and we can chat. I'm curious about your tarot deck, and I'm happy to do a reading or just find ways to help you learn, if you're interested in kind of diving a little deeper. And going back to what we were talking about earlier about therapy, I mean, honestly, tarot is a really, really big self-reflection tool. So it can help you, if you don't want to be sharing that type of stuff with other people, but like a therapist, but are interested in, kind of just learning more about yourself, where you can put your energies. I found it to be really, really helpful for me. So yeah, definitely email me. We'll figure out some time, and yeah, would love to chat. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll be back on in a couple